Hey, what is going on, you mulch munchin Malamar, coming at you with my updated Charizard build video that I've been kind of promising you guys over on the live stream. I was meant to get this out yesterday, but I am coming at you a day late. So this is what I would play as far as the Charizard deck goes, headed into the Charlotte Regional Championships this weekend, and it could definitely change if I do end up playing Charizard at the Charlotte Regional Championships. After I get together with my team, we talk things through and maybe try out and test out some games of Charizard or other decks, but this is where I'm currently at with Charizard right now. Before we jump into it, of course, gotta give a huge shout out to TC Evolutions for sponsoring me and everything I do here on the YouTube channel with my videos and the live streams, and as a competitor as well. They make the highest quality dice / damage counters and markers in the game by far, bar none, and they just came out with their new dice cases. These things are super slick, super clean. Definitely recommend going and picking one up. Yeah, they're just super sick. I love the design. It's insane. Check them out, tcevolutions.com. Link, of course, will be in the description. Use my code AzulGG over there as well to get yourself a discount. So I just came out recently with a Charizard video post my top 8 at the Portland Regional Championship, so not going to be as much to talk about in this one. Going to keep it a little bit more straightforward about the new changes more so than anything. So for the Charmander line, we're still rocking the 1 Ember Charmander that can do 40 damage, namely or mostly really good against Lost Tina, to potentially clean up or initially hit a Tina, and then also good against the Gardevoir. Shiny Arcana Gardevoir sometimes has 40 HP left after it knocks out one of your Charizards, so Ember can be clutch for that. Also can be clutch against the Gardevoirs is the Heat Tackle Charmander, but can be clutch against so many other things as well. Early hits on Golden goes, early hits into Tinas, cleanup hits on Tinas. Yeah, Heat Tackle goes a long ways. I can't believe actually we didn't play this at San Antonio, I'm not gonna lie. I used it a ton at Portland, the Heat Tackle. 2, of course, of the Blazing Destruction Charmander, probably the best and most useful Charmander. Bumping those paths to the peaks can be pretty clutch with that Blazing Destruction. Still on the 90 HP Charmeleon. Need to play one of these. Still love the 90 HP one because we can level ball for it, and I'm still rocking that level ball. We'll get there in just a second. 3 of the Charizard EX, the main attacker, of course, in the deck. And I got the 2/2 Pidgeot still. No Pidgeotto, despite TMD de-evolution getting more popular. Still just rocking the 2 Pidgeot EX as the main, engine of the deck, I guess you could say. Still got the 1 of Mew with the Mysterious Tail. I guess while I'm talking about the Mew here, it is a basic Pokemon consistency, but in the mid game, late game, even early game, it can help us find stuff like Battle VIP Pass or Rare Candies or Ultra Balls. So I would never cut the Mew. One thing that's been talked about recently in the deck that I definitely like the idea of is the Cleffa that has the attack for 0 cost. It has free retreat, 30 HP, and then it draws up to 7 cards in your hand as an attack. Not as really a replace for the Mew, although I don't really see where I'd find room for the Cleffa unless maybe I cut the Mew, but it kind of replaces Rotom in the early game when you go second. I don't know, something to think about. I haven't really tried it out, so I don't know if I'm sold on the idea of it. Got the Manaphy and Jirachi in here. I really want to cut one of these, if not both of these. There's not that many matchups they're good into, but Lost Tina probably will be the most popular deck. It is the most popular deck and probably will be the most popular deck at the Charlotte Regional Championships. So I think for this weekend and kind of moving forward, probably until the format shift with rotation and the new set, you probably have to rock the Manaphy and the Jirachi because they're so good in the Tina matchup. Of course, they can be good in other situations as well. You hit up something that has the Yoga Loop. Other decks play the Greninja, like the Chien Pao as well. So, I mean, overall in the meta, they don't feel great, to be honest, but you kind of got to keep it around. We got the Rotom in here, of course. Just too powerful to not play. Early game draw power, holds our Forest Seal Stone. Rotom does it all. Oh, there's a new card. And we got the Luminion in here as well for increased consistency. Early game, mid game, late game, Luminion does it all. And not a new addition, a reoccurring addition. The Radiant Charizard is back in my build, mostly for the TM Devo, actually. So one of the things that happens or is happening in the meta when everyone has TM Devo in their deck, not everyone, but a lot of people, Mirror Match, Lost Tina has been including it. Other decks, you can randomly find it in Miraidon and stuff like that, is when they use the TM Devo, they de-evolve your Charizards and your Pidgeots, and you can't attack with those anymore. But one thing that you could maybe attack with, if you have it on your bench with the Fire Energy, is a Radiant Charizard towards the end of the game. So it's a really efficient attacker that doesn't require a whole ton to work, and we can kind of set it up preemptively to play around Iono TM Devo or Roxanne TM Devo or something like that. So I've re-included the Radiant Charizard in my deck. Not only is it good against TM Devo, it's pretty good into the Lost Tina matchup as well, or it's solid into Lost Tina. It's nothing super special. I wouldn't just play it if it was good against Lost Tina. The main reason I like it right now is because it's good against TM Devo. It's something you can get in play and play around your opponent hitting with the TM Devo in the late game. So I really like the Radiant Charizard right now. Good against Tina, good against TM Devo, also good against Golden Go, which has got a decent amount of hype recently. The Radiant Charizard is really good against Golden Go. It is also really good against Roaring Moon and Miraidon. Roaring Moon has a decent amount of hype about it right now as well. Both those matchups are already favorable, but now they basically become auto wins with the Radiant Charizard, to be honest. For the supporters, once again, nothing has changed. 1 research. I got the 3 Iono still. I have the 4 Arven. I've really been wanting to try a no Arven Pidgeysard build like Haru played when he got second at the regional over in Australia. I haven't found time to really try it out though, to be honest, but if that's the better way to play the deck, to be honest, you gain a ton of room by cutting the Arvens. You do play more draw supporters like 4th Iono and Avery or something like that, but you do gain a little bit of room for other tech cards, stuff like Minior, or even different tool cards as well that you could possibly include. 3 bosses orders still as well. Got to be able to consistently gust throughout the game. For the Pokemon search cards, 4 Battle VIP Pass, 4 Ultra Ball. That has not changed. Still only on the 1 level ball, not 2 level ball, no nest ball. Still can't find room for that, although I really want to. Hey, if you cut the Arvens, maybe that's where we could find the room for it. 4 Red Candy, of course, trying to get that turn 2 Candy Pidgeot, Candy Charizard off, so you need 4 of those. Still have the double loss vacuum. Tina's going to be probably the most popular deck at the tournament, so you want to be packing the double loss vacuum, mostly because Arven can get it, not because you want just 5 waves to bump Path to the Peak. We do still have 3 stadiums in here, but Arven being able to find your lost vacuum is super, super key. So got 2 of those. I still have the 2 Super Rod. I'm still rocking 2 Super Rod, and we'll get to it, but I still only have the 6 basic fire energies. Just I feel like this combo is really, really strong in the Tina matchup, in the mirror match, and up against TM Devo in general. I really like the extra recovery of the Super Rod, and I can't really warrant fitting 2 Super Rod and 7 basic fires. So we're rocking the 6-2. I know it feels a little bit weird, but once you like play around with it a little bit and understand how you're supposed to rock it, it's not too difficult. Now, we did have to make some room for the Radiant Charizard, and that's where a pretty heavy hit is coming in. I'm down to the 1 counter catcher, and it feels terrible. I missed the 2nd counter catcher, but I think the Radiant Charizard is a more powerful play currently in the meta. I might try and find a way to get the 2nd counter catcher back in the deck, but for right now, we're down to the 1. The card is so powerful in the deck, and I really hate to see it go. We still have the 1 switch, and we kind of have to play the 1 switch or some kind of switch card if we are going to include the Radiant Charizard. If you open Radiant Charizard or attack with it and can't reset it, you're going to be in trouble. So now that we are including the switch card here to deal with the not TMD evolutions, the Tapu Koko from the Miraidon deck, stuff like Mawile, Paralysis from Articuno. We're playing the switch card to deal with all that. Makes it a little bit easier to then include that Radiant Charizard back into the deck as well. And it does mean if we're gonna include the Radiant Charizard, that we kind of have to keep the switch card around as well. I think for the current meta, it just kind of makes sense to include both of them. I think they fit pretty nicely in there. Let's get to the tool cards, the other new addition to the deck. I've got the Choice Belt in here. So we got the Forest Seal Stone. Great card. We're never cutting that, of course. We got the TM Devolution for the mirror match. The Guardy matchup's great into both of those. Can't complain about it there. Really, for the mirror match is its most powerful matchup, and we definitely want to have that edge in the mirror because everyone's going to probably bring in the TM Devo. Now I've got the Choice Belt in here. So let's talk about the Choice Belt. It's possible I should have played Choice Belt over the Vitality Band at Portland. The value of the Vitality Band comes against Miraidon. If a Miraidon takes the first prize card for a Miraidon deck, you're only doing 210 damage, and if we have a Vitality Band, we can get to that 220. But Miraidon is an EX Pokemon, so if we have Choice Belt in there, we're still only doing 210. Now, the Choice Belt does let us get more aggressive knockouts on stuff like Raikous or Raichus in that matchup if they choose to not draw or can't draw an early prize card and hang one of those in the active for a turn. Now, with the Choice Belt, we can hit for that 210 damage before our opponent even draws a prize card, which is nice. We can also get to that 330 number against Rapid Strike, which is nice. But unfortunately, on the 3 prize card turn in the mirror match, we won't be able to KO the Pidgeot EX like we could with the Vitality Band. But if we're including the TMD Evolution, that's all we really need for the mirror match. If I got TMD Evolution, 2 Super Rod, and the Radiant Charizard to counter their TMD Evolution, I don't think I need the Vitality Band over the Choice Belt as well. And now with the Choice Belt, like I said, we can hit that 330 against the Rapid Strike, and comboed with the Radiant Charizard, we can hit that 280, which is pretty good against Lost Tina. So we're getting a couple tech cards in here, or we're making a couple choices here around the Lost Tina matchup more so than anything, to be honest. They have the TM Devo, Radiant Charizard's great. Hitting that 280 number is great. Even hitting 250 sometimes to KO Tina V in the late game as well can be pretty solid, depending on if we don't have any Charizards set up, or ready to go. And this really, in the Tina matchup, for the other situations, this doesn't make a difference if it's really the Choice Belt or the Vitality Band. When Tina draws one prize card, we're hitting 210 with Charizard, so the Vitality Band gets to the 220. When they've drawn 3 prize cards, we're hitting 270 with Charizard, so Choice Band or Vitality Band will get us to that 280 number cleanly. So the Choice Belt really just comes in clutch to make the Radiant Charizard hit harder, or some situations that could come up is we could hit harder with like a Heat Tackle or an Ember Charmander, maybe even the Charmeleon to hit for 100 into a Tina, which could set up a more aggressive early game 2-hit KO comboed with a hit from the Charizard EX. I got the Choice Belt in there. The stadium count, I've cut the Lost City. Still have the Collapse, of course, to get rid of damaged Pokemon like the Charizard, which we can pull off pretty consistently and comfortably thanks to the 2 Super Rod, or more likely we're going to be removing Rotom or Luminion off our bench. Sick to have that. And I've gone to the 2 Artisan over the Lost City because the Lost City it's really good against Lost Pile, and that's about it. Even against Lost Tina, even though now that they're running like 1 Sableye and 1 Cram, we have Jirachi to help against Sableye, and they usually, even if they attack with Sableye, they usually can't attack with it again and have it be super efficient anyways. So Lost owning stuff against Lost Tina doesn't really matter that much. Lost owning stuff against Lost Pile is really good. Lost owning stuff against Guardy can be good, but I would rather just play more games, I think. So I've gone to the 2nd Artisan over the Lost City. Just want to find my basic Pokemon more consistently, more aggressively, and I feel like this does kind of help us when we include the Radiant Charizard. One card I would really like to include in here alongside the Radiant Charizard, which I don't have room for, is the Nest Ball. I don't think I would cut the Level Ball for the Nest Ball because the Level Ball is so powerful when you can so efficiently find your Charmeleon. Going Arven for Level Ball for Charmeleon is just so sick. We want to really conserve our Ultra Balls to find our bigger Pokemon as the game progresses, or even find Luminion in the late game, or sometimes we just don't have the cards in the hand to expend to want to use an Ultra Ball to get the Charmeleon. So I feel like the Level Ball is better than the Nest Ball, although I'd really like to include a Nest Ball in the list if we are including the Charmeleon, but I'm not willing to cut an Artisan for that Nest Ball because these are our stadium bumps as well. I'm not willing to go down to 5 or 4 stadium bumps to try and fit a Nest Ball in the deck. So I would love to include a Nest Ball, but I don't think there's room in here right now for that. And then I have the 6 Fire Energy. I know some of you think it's a little bit low, but trust me, once you actually nail down how to play with 6 Fire Energy and double Super Rod, you won't be feeling that way. 6 Fire Energy is more than you need. It's as much as you need. I'm not going to say it's more than you need. 6 Fire Energy is all you need if you play well. So just focus on playing well. Don't handicap yourself by playing 7 Fire Energy and missing out on one of these great tech cards. Just learn how to play with the 6 Fire Energy and double Super Rod, and you'll be good to go. And that's my Charizard list headed into the Charlotte Regional Championships. Moving forward past that, I don't know how I would play Charizard or how I'll play it after rotation as well. So don't ask me that question, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.